What's up guys, my name is Elle and welcome to the second episode of the coffee shop project at home. If you watched Saturday's video, you know that we were roasting beans at home and we're kind of just picking up where we left off, and that's going to be preparing the roast in a French press. I'm going to walk you through everything from the grinding to the prepping, and then I'm going to do the other two because you don't need to watch it 3 times, and we're going to do a tasting. So let's not waste any more time, let's dive right in. When preparing a French press, you want to get a coarse roast. So I have my espresso machine set to coarse grind. I'm going to dump my beans right in. And then this gets to like the tedious part, the mundane part. We literally just have to sit and press grind over and over and over again. This is smelling amazing. It's all in there. I took about 3 presses. I'm gonna put this off to the side, get the other 2 done, and then we'll talk when I get there. All 3 of our roasts are here. I think it's actually kind of interesting that they're kind of a gradient from like the most burnt to the least burnt. This one definitely looks the best, but they all kind of smell like the burnt roast that I actually buy to use every morning in my own house. So maybe I'm doing something right, but if you take a closer look, you can see that the one that I did in the oven is dark and burnt, like it actually was. Basically, the grind reflects how the bean was prepared. This one looks yummy. I think this one could be okay. This one's gonna be gross. Let's find out. If you watched the previous video and happen to order the book and you're following along at home, you know that I am basing these recipes off of Lainey Kingston's How to Make Coffee. We're on page 144, and she says that we need to start by heating up our French press. You put in however many cups of water it needs for your French press. For mine, that happens to be 4 cups, so we're gonna fill it up. Now that our French press is full, I'm gonna put it off to the side, and then I'm gonna grab our scale so that we can tare it and then weigh our grounds. I prepped the scale with another bowl like these so that I can weigh the same amount. Then I'm gonna press tare so it's at 0, and then I'm gonna weigh our first bowl. When weighing your beans, Lady Kingston suggests using grams, and for every half scant cup of water you have in your French press, you need 5 to 7 grams of coffee. So for me, that adds up to between 40 and 56 grams of coffee for 4 cups of water. I'm aiming for a sweet spot in the middle of 48. I'm gonna continue showing the process with the air popper coffee because it was my favorite. And it comes out to a nice 51 grams of coffee, so we need to pull 3 up, and then we're gonna finish the French press. And we have a perfect 48. Now let's move on. I've dumped out my water that I was using to heat up the French press, and now it's time to steep the coffee. So I'm gonna start by taking my popcorn popper grounds and pouring them straight in. A funnel might be nice in the future. And then I'm going to take my little kettle, and I'm just gonna pour it in like a circular motion. Okay. Now that we have all of the contents in, we're gonna take our spoons and we are gonna start up. Kind of get at the bottom, get everything in there, and then work your way to the top. And finally, I'm gonna put my lid on. I'm not gonna press down. I'm just gonna put it on and leave it for 3 minutes and 45 seconds. It's been 3 minutes and 45 seconds. The coffee is done steeping, so I'm gonna pull the lid off, and then I'm gonna scoop the grains off the top. Kind of looks like Cocoa Puff milk. That might not be very appetizing, but that's what I think it looks like, so we're going with it. There was really only like 1 big scoop of them, and then there's just like little ones left. I personally don't really want any grittiness in there, so I'm gonna go a little overkill on it. And I'm just putting it in the bowl that the grounds were originally in, and I think we're good. Okay, I think I've gotten off as many grounds as possible, and now it's time to do the actual press. Now I'm gonna leave the French press be for a minute to let all of the sediment settle down, and then we're gonna pour. Okay, it's the moment of truth. It doesn't smell too bad, so I have high hopes right now. This is way too hot for me to drink right now, so I'm gonna put it off to the side, finish the other ones, and then we're gonna do a final tasting. After hours of work, almost burning ourselves, grinding beans, roasting them, going through all of that, it is finally time to reap the fruits of our labors and actually try the coffee. I'm gonna go from the ones that I think are gonna be the worst up to the best, and the one that I think is gonna be the worst is the ones that I roasted in the oven because they got a little crispy. Anyway, without further ado, let's try this. That tastes kind of like the espresso that I have at my house, actually. It's very dark, and I'm not making this up. I can actually kind of taste the chocolate undertones. The coffee from the beans that we roasted in the oven already exceeded my expectations, so we can only go up from here, and now it's time to try the runs that we roasted in the skillet. There's nothing special about this. I'm not disgusted by it. It tastes like coffee. I really didn't think this was gonna taste like coffee. If I had reviewed this at one of my coffee shops in Tennessee, I probably would have just said, I enjoy this. In all reality, I can't taste any hints. It tastes like a standard cup of black coffee. I wouldn't be mad if I ordered it at a restaurant, but at the same time, I'm not loud. After those two, I honestly had some high expectations for the one that I roasted in the popcorn maker because I thought that these two were gonna taste like licking coal, and they actually taste like coffee, so this better taste like graham crackers and chocolate. Final little drum roll, right? That's my least favorite. I don't like that, actually. It's sweet. It tastes just like a plain house roast, but at the same time, it's equivalent to the house roast that I was trying at the local coffee shop. So I don't think it's bad. It just isn't my cup of tea or my cup of coffee. This one's my favorite. It's my favorite because it tastes like that burnt roast that I have every morning. I've been drinking Starbucks coffee from my very first cup until today. I like the burnt roast. I can't stray from my burnt roast, and I think we need to work on developing my palate there. But if I were to actually finish one of these, it would be this one, and I think I actually am. So that is all I have for today's little episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more content from this, subscribe down below and follow me on Instagram at @lgrayson. And if you actually want to follow along with me in the next tutorial, don't forget to look down below to order How to Make Coffee and the other books. And now I'm gonna finish this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.